Transervice has flourished and retained customers for multiple decades. How? By making our word our bond and delivering the most responsive service and transparent financial details to give our clients the best all-around value in the industry. By not providing cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all, off-the-shelf solutions. Instead, crafting tailored, customer-centric solutions for each client's individualized business model and needs. By empowering highly ethical, dedicated associates to build true partnerships and mutually beneficial relationships with our accounts. And by cultivating long-term, loyal customers and vendors through each and every one of these guiding principles, and maintaining those relationships with transparent, quality operations. That's why Transervice has been successful for 50 years, and that's how we'll continue to grow and flourish long into the future. Let us show you why many of our clients have been with us for over 20 years. It's all about the experience, yours and ours.
All right, race fans, welcome live tonight here, Las Vegas, for the Transervice Cup Series SIM500. I tell you what, race number 1 of the chase starts tonight. 16 drivers are going to try to do battle to see who's going to become the champion. Well, qualifying's underway. Joe White up here in the booth, accompanied by old John. I always mess his last name up. Mustaine, I think it is. Right?
Mustaine Jr. John Mustaine Jr.
That's it. Yeah. Well, how you doing,
Just
John?
call me Junior. How's that? I'm doing great, Joe. How about yourself, buddy?
Doing good. And I tell you what, we got the Cup cars here tonight in Las Vegas, and started the chase. These guys tonight is Las Vegas, and the first part of these restarts are going to be crazy. I mean, it's just going to be hectic and crazy.
Absolutely, Joe. I took part in the NIS Open this week at this track, and granted, the caliber driver may not be quite up to par as your SIM500 guys, but the restarts were absolutely insane. I mean, I'm talking, not even joking here, 3-4 wide going into 1 and 2. Now, these guys are really good here at SIM500. We know that from experience watching them for quite some time now. And this package, though, really lends itself to that kind of hard racing on restarts and trying to get every position you can on the restart before, the track kind of, starts thinning out the herd and make it single file racing.
Absolutely. Well, folks, if you see right there, the graph on the screen right now shows you the 16 drivers that are in, and plus I think they have like a yellow on the back of their spoiler, so that actually will tell you who they are throughout the entire race. But we're getting set here to grid these bad boys up here tonight, Las Vegas style. The man on pole, Tommy Ryan, puts it out front. Anthony DeBarro, he's a fast one to keep an eye on, starting second. Third place man, Daniel Falkenham, he's been on a roll as of late. Chad Cole, he's consistent, but he's looking, man, to hit a home run here in the chase race number 1, starting fourth. Fifth place man, Randy Yoakum. Justin Fuller sitting in sixth. Seventh place, Adam Gillian. He has been the main man all season long. The last couple races, he's had a few issues, but for the most part, regular season, he's been on a roll. But it's all new territory now for him as the chase starts. Timothy Johnson starts at 8th. 9th place, David Comstock. And to round out the top 10, Jose Gonzalez, calling Speedy right there. Look through the rest of this field. Going to be interesting to see which chase driver is going to capitalize tonight, because Las Vegas is a track, well, you can make some ground up, but then you can also lose a lot of ground here, as we were talking about it earlier.
Absolutely. And, like I said, I ran a couple races here. This car, it really drives much better on this track than what we saw last time with the Xfinity car. Last night, it was so wicked loose pretty much for the entire run. It might have tightened up just a little bit towards the end of the run, but this car with this package, and believe it or not, even the setup that iRacing came with isn't bad here. It's going to lend itself to a lot of great racing and a lot of passing opportunities, I believe.
And we're going to get set here. Like I say, I think the restart's going to be the craziest one to keep an eye on, because, we always say cautions breed cautions, but Las Vegas sometimes has a way about it. It's a wide track. You've got a lot of room. You can maneuver. You can go 3 and 4 wide here, and, probably go a little bit more than that, and be safe about it. But I'll say about after 10 to 15 laps, you're going to start seeing the tires kind of neutralize a little bit. Start seeing him getting a little slick, sliding around. That's when this field should start separating some. Have to see how it pans out here as the first of the race.
Yeah, I see a lot of yellow fins in the top 10 there as far as the lineup goes. So it's really the same names we've been watching all season up front, with the exception of maybe Yoakum in that 8 car and that 18 right there. But I tell you, Joe, somebody to keep our eye on, and he's just been on a tear. He's won 4 out of the last 6 races. That Adam Gilliland fella from Texas, he's been stout these last few races. Okay, cricket.
All right. Well, no, my bad. I talked to my wife there. She was cooking she's cooking eggs out of an Instapot over there. So kind of neat little gadget over there.
Uh-oh.
But you're right. I mean, the track's gonna be interesting. It's a lot different now with the new Xfinity cars here on iRacing. Obviously, they've caught up to what the new age is there. The new Toyota, the Camry, and the Mustang that's out. That just came out this past update. It's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds as far as the Xfinity Series goes. But we're getting set to go green flag racing as the pace car makes its way around. Green flag drops off on the pit road. We're getting set. That man out front right there leads them to the line as the green flag flies. They're already going 3 wide.
Yeah, Yoakum's going to drop down, get out of the way there, and let these leaders go at it. I'm sorry, the A car is Yoakum, right? Yeah, Randy Yoakum. Tommy Ryan gets a really good little 1 car length buffer between himself and DeBarro going down to the 1. And you got Falkingham right there in 3rd, and the number 82 of Chad Cole around the 4th, and I believe 5th is going to go to Justin Fuller now. Oh, look at this big bump from Falkingham going down into 3 right there.
Yeah, Falkingham, he has been fast and on a roll here late. He's heading up there to try to take the lead. Anthony DeBarrio, excuse me. I don't know if I said Adam, but Anthony DeBarrio right there, the man out front, he is definitely fast. And this is what you're going to see at the beginning here of these style races. These guys are going to be able to get here, nose to tail, bumper to bumper. I said before the race started, they're going to want to try to get what they can early because after those tires start to wear out, it's going to be hard to pass through the field.
Absolutely, and look at this. We got a fight for the lead again here, going through 3 and 4. I mean, we already had 2 different people leading, and we're not even lap into it. And now Falkham's going to make that a 3rd different person leading this race. He's got Fuller right there, giving a little bit of draft help going down to the tri-oval.
Justin Fuller definitely has been on a tear late. You've seen him in the past, so get himself in trouble, start to wear those tires out. Let's see if he can manage that tonight, but he is already trying to take the lead. Daniel out front, you see him door to door down the back stretch there. And you got Adam Gilliam. We talked about him. That was the man here in the season, won the most races. Well, he's going to try to capitalize on the chases. They are close coming off of 4.
Wow, that was real close coming off of 4. Right now, Joe, it looks like the inside line's got the advantage, but I predict that that's going to go away pretty quick within 5-10 laps once this track starts rubbering up. One thing I did notice during the NIS Open was that outside line is wicked fast coming off the turn.
And that's what I'm saying. These guys are going to try to get what they can early. You can see Justin Fuller he got out front early on and made that pass on Daniel. But down low, Adam Gillian's trying to make a move to the front side here. Anthony DeBarro. So you've got some of the best of the best. A lot of chase drivers there in that mix. Chad Cole. That's just going to make it even that much more interesting as you see all these chase drivers and as close as they are to try to gain points here. It's going to be interesting to the end.
And already we got a lap car fixing to play a part in this drama we've got unfolding here. Nick Cohan in that 21 car is just a few car lengths ahead of Fuller. In the meantime, Fuller looks up in his mirror and he sees a beast in Adam Gilliland's 81 car coming at him from the inside.
He does, and they're door to door as they cross that line. Still Justin Fuller out front. They are gaining on, unfortunately, Nick Cohan not having the start he wants to this race. He looks like he's going to go a lap down here, but on the inside, Adam's going to try to pitch him. Justin's got the outside lane. Nick's going to go low. That's going to hurt Adam here on that backstretch run.
Oh, yeah. Fuller using that football move, the pick move right there. And he's probably going to be able to at least buy himself some time, but I'm really sure that within the next 2 or 3 laps, he's going to have his hands full once again with either Gilliland or the 39 car of Daniel Falkingham.
Yes, sir, they are. Right now, Justin Fuller, he's going to pass and put Cohan a lap down for the moment. As you got Daniel Falkingham's got that high lane. He's got the preferred line right now. Anthony's wanting to stay high if he can and maybe pinch Adam down low. And that's going to put the 99 of Tommy Ryan. Don't count him out. He's another fast cat there. You got Chad Cole, David Comstock, Sean Bounty up in the mix, Donnie Leah there in ninth, and Timothy Johnson. Everybody's still under a blanket through pretty much the entire field right now.
And Cohan is not giving up without a fight here. He's really making this pass as difficult as he can for the 51 car of Justin Fuller, trying to keep himself on the lead lap right now. Hey, that's his right. He's got the right to try and keep himself on that lead lap, and right now he's probably giving that 51 fits.
Well, I've always said it. If a lap car is fast enough to hold his line and hold with the leaders, like you said, race them. I mean, obviously, if you're way slow and you're holding up the leaders, that's a different subject. Now, I know the leader of the race probably going to be disagreeing with me and go, Joe, man, be quiet. I want that lap car to get out the way. But, hey, if he's fast enough to hold, and it looks like Nick Cohan is right now, to at least stay where he is, then, hey, like you said, race it out. Try to stay on that lead lap, or at least stay where he is in the position to get the lucky dog if precaution comes out.
Absolutely, and I believe, isn't Cohan one of our chase drivers?
Cohan, well, he's not showing yellow, but I can double check that. Let's see. Absolutely,
no,
he is.
Yes,
he.
Well, he is. Yeah, you're right.
Yes,
he is in there.
So, not the race that he wants to start out with, and that's probably why he's battling so hard right now, is try to stay on that lead lap, and I don't blame him. But like we just predicted here, John, 10 laps in, guess what? Everybody's single file. Those tires, I'm telling you, the start of this race, you're going to try to get what you can get, because now you're starting to see guys aren't being able to pass like they were. It's going to make it harder on the inside lane to pass. You do see a pass there as Adam Gillian made it on Anthony, but then he went up the track he shot him up the track right there.
He had to got in the wall a little bit, but to what you're saying there, Joe, it's like I said earlier during the show, once we get some laps on these tires and, about 10, 15 laps in, the outside's going to be where you're going to have to make most of your passes at. You're able to make a couple of passes every once in a while. Like if you'll just draft, if you get a really good run coming off exit of like maybe 2, going down the backstretch and get right up literally to where you're almost bump drafting the car and then swing down low. Sometimes that works. It just depends. I mean, it's really got to be perfect timing and a perfect run. But right now at this point, you're going to see it. The outside line is where you want to be.
Nice, and I tell you right now, Tommy Ryan's working that high lane. He's trying to go around Adam Gillian right now, trying to pinch him down. I think the middle to high line is where you want to be later on in the run. Maybe early on, the low line will be the place to be, as you still see Justin Fuller out front leading. Nick Cohan, the car lap down there, is trying to just hang on to the back tailgate of the leader to hopefully, if something happens, he can maybe get that lap back, because he is one of the chase drivers tonight. Daniel Falkenham, as you just start to see everybody kind of fan out right now.
And Cohan could also, if he can get by the leader and get his lap back the hard way, that would be really sending a message, though, when you stop at them. He's hanging tough right there on Fuller's bumper as it is, not getting too far behind him at all. And I'll tell you what, if he could get by him and get that lap back the hard way, that's going to be sending a message.
Yes, it is, and he's definitely right now working over Justin Fuller, and I know Daniel and them would love to see that, to maybe slow down the pace of Justin. Here's the thing, though. I look at guys. Some guys out here are more aggressive. Justin Fuller's, I would say, probably one of the more aggressive style drivers. I got to look at a guy like Chad Cole. A track like this, after 10 or 15 laps, is going to favor him. He's very, very patient, very calm, cool, and collected. See Tommy Ryan there, got a little wiggly off the turn. Car already getting a little bit loose, but you see a guy like Chad Cole, very patient, knows how to use the tires. I think that's something to keep an eye on if this thing keeps going green.
Absolutely. He and Dave Comstock are the masters at taking care of their equipment and making sure it's going to last. I went back and looked at lap times of last night's race, and Comstock had the same fall off as most people did, maybe just a touch slower, but then he plateaued, Joe. And by that I mean after about 15 to 20 laps, he stopped losing time. He's just amazing at how he drives his car and is able to keep his tires, in really good shape. He's like one of the masters at it.
And that's what you got to be sometimes with the track conditions like they are. And especially, if you look at the lap times right now, Justin Fuller put down a 31.437. But you look throughout the whole entire field, all 37 machines out here, I'll say 35 at least, are still in the 31s. John, that tells you we're not even a second splitting these cars time-wise. Obviously gap-wise, yes, but time-wise, on the track. So that kind of relays and tells you right there that you're not going to see anybody come from the back or the middle and blaze through the front. So if you're back in about 20, you're back in about 20 some position, you got some thinking to do. How do I get to the front? If there's no cautions, obviously you're going to have to think about it on some pit strategy.
Well, you know, I was just about to touch on that. Let's look at lap times real quick, Joe. We started this race off, really the first full speed lap they had was lap 2, 30.3 for our leader, Justin Fuller. And as we watch Justin, he's got a challenge on the inside from that lap car of Cohan. But last time by, Justin turned to 31.5, and that's with clean air. So he's lost almost a second and a half of time in 13 laps. So that tells you the fall off is real with these tires. And, you know, if you can take care of them, you know, now back to strategy, what you were saying, we saw that last night in the Xfinity race. Some guys actually tried to short pit, and, you know, they did a race almost like a road course race, basically. They said, okay, we have to go 100 laps, and this is how far we can go on gas, so let's pit at this time. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that tonight. Well,
you know, and we're talking about lap times. Justin just did a 31.614. The 16th place car, Nick Silver, did a 31.777. That's a tenth and a half, maybe. Yeah. That just tells you from the top 16. Now, obviously, everybody's like, well, then, Joe, why ain't they closer together? Well, because he is faster, and over a course of time, that distance will make, you know, it will distance out. But what we're getting at here is, you know, normally we see guys fast, and you have your fast drivers, and they sometimes will start in the middle of the field, they'll start in the back somewhere, and they'll make their way to the front. At a track like this and the conditions that they're racing on now, and with the lap times, you're not going to see that tonight. So that's where pit strategy, like you mentioned earlier, is going to play a huge factor here.
Absolutely. And I'm really impressed with Cohan. I mean, he not only is he hanging with Fuller, but he's peeking down the inside and you know, kind of giving Fuller a hello. Hey, I'm back here, and I might just pass you up here in a second. I'm really impressed with his speed. It's just unfortunately he finds himself a lap down so early.
Absolutely. Well, and you know what, we might also want to touch on this. He is actually on a lap newer tire wear, as far as he's only been out there for 20 laps. They've been out there for 21. So let's look at that for a minute, because Nick Cohan's lap time was a 31.702 to a 31.699 of Fuller that last time around, but the time before, Nick was faster. So maybe there again, we're getting the mix with pit strategies and short pitting. That just shows you maybe one lap difference in the tires, just how much of time-wise that it actually can help you.
And you said something about, you know, track conditions earlier. Right now it's 116 degrees as a track temperature. Hot and greasy, Joe. That's a hot and greasy track right now.
Absolutely it is. And, you know, 79 degrees outside. You know, we're sitting here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway tonight here. It's 1.5 mile track. Pretty quick track here. You know, to say the least. But I'm going to tell you what, if you go back here to where Nick Silver is in about 16th, 17th place back there with Nigel Stanges and Steve Ritter and company, those guys for the moment back there, they're having a pretty good battle. They were the 2 and 3 wide for the moment. They're all single file now.
Yeah, that's what happens when you turn a camera on them. They stop misbehaving. No.
No doubt. No, I was back here watching them, and I'm like, man, this is a whole conglomerate of cars. You got Nelson Rivera back here, Mike Kelly. And, you know, just the name. I mean, you know, I'm going through some names here. And, you really can't take any name here in the league here at SIM500 or say any of these guys are slouches out here. But, man, I tell you what, yeah, you look at some of them names in the back, and you're like, man, these guys are no slouches, but they're marred back here way back in traffic. They just can't do anything. They're back here going, the car just won't go forward. And that's what we've kind of been talking about all race long, is you just can't go anywhere with this kind of package. You can't go anywhere with this kind of tire wear and the way this track is set up.
Not at all. And in the meantime, as we're saying this, Trey Edson's kind of giving Comstock a challenge, but he's challenging him on the inside, and that's just not going to happen here, because you literally just said it. Once we get this far into the race, that inside line is just not where you want to be, and Comstock is he's not giving Edson a chance to get to the outside of him. He's hugging that wall through both ends of the track right now. But, you know, to touch on what you said on a minute ago, Joe, as far as the caliber of driver we have here, I just recently started running with these guys in the Xfinity series and the truck series. And I'm no slouch, man. I've been doing sim racing for a while. I've got a few wins, quite a few actually, in all types of cars here on iRacing. But I get in here with these guys, and they make me feel like an absolute noob, man. They'll put it to you. They really do. It's just amazing how good they are at fixed setup racing, these guys. And I'm watching this battle between Comstock and Edson, and I could feel Trey Edson's frustration right now.
He's trying everything he knows to try to get around him. Now, the one thing that definitely we haven't mentioned is not only this track here, as far as tire wear and lap times goes, we actually have Cohan just made the pass on Justin Fuller to get his lap back. Yes, he did. Just saw that in the top view. But just to touch on what we're seeing back here with David Comstock and Trey Edson there, again, this track is also a momentum track. And that's another way to get around a guy. If even though Trey Edson's trying everything he can on the inside, and as he does complete that pass for the moment on Dave, you have to remember, if the guy on the outside makes one mistake or loses momentum up high, then you can make it around him.
Absolutely. That's kind of what I was touching on earlier. The momentum pass, I guess is a good way to describe it, is when you just draft up as hard as you can on that guy, and if you can get just close enough to him where you can whip it down to the left and enter the turn before he does, you'll make that pass. And it's kind of like what Edson did here coming down the front stretch. He just drafted up as close as he could to Comstock and got right up on his bumper and passed him.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Justin Fuller is bad fast. I got to give him credit. But the one thing is, he's bad fast, and he running the equipment. And I'm going to use the reference of Days of Thunder. He kind of drives the tires right off of it. And I'm seeing it I'm seeing it right now because, his lap times are falling, and they're dropping like a rock. And
yes,
Daniel Falkingham is running him down. Justin Fuller's, I never try to tell a guy how to drive. He drives the way he feels like he needs to. But if you see that the car is on a fall off like that, you have to be able to adjust as a driver to the track conditions. Right now, he's just driving to drive and drive hard. Nothing wrong with that, but he has to understand that guys behind him, if they drive easy, it's not going to be long before Daniel makes up that 1.1 second difference.
Well, I was just going to say, he just made up a 10th on the track right there, and that's indicative of a guy who, look at that wiggle out of Fuller just now coming off of 2. And if you look back behind Falkingham, they're all kind of bunched up back there. So, the tires are 31 laps in now, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Joe, the fuel window is going to be between 45 and 52 laps, if I'm not mistaken. So, I'm just wondering how many of these guys are going to push this car all the way to the limit on fuel. And, look at that. I don't know what happened to Cohan just now, but boy, Ford drove right up on his back bumper there.
Kind of got probably a little bit loose. Seeing these things are slick. And Adam Gillian right there out of the turn. Almost lost that thing. That thing went up the track into Tommy Ryan. That was real close right there as he tried to dive on the inside to make the pass. So he's chasing the car. You can already see some of these guys getting real slick out there, and they're starting to hang on to it. But you're right, at 40-some laps on the pit window, the thing about Justin is this might be a saving grace to that. If he can get far enough out in front, which he is, he's about 1.1 second, and Daniel's not making up that much ground on him, then by the time they pit, it'll be kind of repeat of the cycle. If he can keep the cycle going like that, he should be okay. It's if he has a huge fall off in the middle of the run, that's when it's going to hurt him.
Absolutely. And let's see what he got as far as time goes this time by 31.8. Him and Falkingham are running pretty much almost the exact same times. Yeah. Daniel didn't lose any time, but he didn't gain any time on Justin that time by. But look behind Daniel Falkingham. You've got a whole gaggle of cars there that are just all bunched up, trying to make moves on each other.
Draft, too. We haven't really mentioned that either. Draft will play a factor here tonight. Justin Fuller there probably is using Nick Cohan for a moment as draft. You see Chad Cole right there trying to work on the inside of Anthony DeBarro. He's going to try. That's another guy I say he's just really calm, cool, and collective, knows how to use the equipment and save it to the end here as we're 35 laps in here to Las Vegas. Folks, it's the first late race of the chase for the Transervice Cup Series here for the SIM500. These guys, man, 16 drivers out here tonight. Let's throw up the graph up there for you, let y'all folks see the 16 drivers that are out here vying for the title. Hopefully, that'll move on. We follow, the SIM500 follows the actual NASCAR chase format. So 3 races, And 3 races, then we go to Homestead. 4 drivers will vie for a championship.
I'm looking forward to that Homestead race. And, wow, look at this. I'm so impressed right now with Gilliland. He made the pass on Tommy Ryan back there on the inside, and he's going to bring, who's that, Edson with him, I believe?
Trey Edson's right there on the inside, going to try to door-to-door. Chad Cole in front of them. But you've also got, like you say, right in the middle of them, David Comstock's right there along with them behind them. And like I said, Trey Edson's there. So, yeah, all those drivers look pretty even for the moment. They're just trying to get what they can get early.
I don't know what's going on with Ryan. He's already lost 2 spots here. Might be losing a third to Comstock. Maybe he's just trying to ease up on his tires a little bit, or maybe he's overused his tires. But it looks like he's falling back just a little bit there. In the meantime, up front, Falkingham has reeled in a little bit more gap there on Justin Fuller. He's down to about a little over a second.
If he can grab maybe the back end there and get just a little bit of draft, he'll be able to close that gap in a lot quicker. We'll have to see if it happens before they make a pit stop, or does Daniel make a stop before? Who's going to be the first one to come on pit road? It'll be interesting to see between those. But behind them, like you said, Chad Cole is still giving Anthony DeBarro everything he's got as he looks to the inside of him. For the split second, Adam Gillian right there in the back, just kind of hanging on, looking. You got Trey Edson, Tommy Ryan, and David Comstock, who David has kind of fallen off just a little bit of the pace back there behind these guys.
Yeah, but it's still a long race to go. We just hit lap 39 right there out of 134. So I would imagine that Comstock's just by now. Oh, look at this, 3 wide and 1 and 2 between DeBarro, Cole, and Gilliland there, and it worked itself out nicely. But it was funny to watch as they went in, Joe, how they all split up and took a separate line right there. It was pretty cool.
Adam Gillian right now is the fastest guy on the track. We said he was the man during the whole season, won most of the races, pretty much, took the regular series title, so to speak, here at the SIM500 for the Transervice Cup Series. So he's the one to watch in the chase coming in here, but it is chase time. Anything can happen. He understands that all his accomplishments he done in the regular season mean nothing at this point. Everybody is on equal ground coming in here, and he has got to keep digging tonight. And you see it already right there as he's just trying to hang on to 5th place and maybe try to get more.
Absolutely. And you bring that up, the championship points. I mean, only 27 points separate the top 16 in points right now. Well, the chase drivers, I should say, only 27, and we've got a field of 35 here tonight.
Yep,
something like that. So 37, excuse me. So you can't afford to make a mistake. You can't afford to, mess up at all, because you will get hurt. It'll hurt you in the championship. Look at this. He's bump drafting DeBarro in the turns, Joe. Oh,
yes, he is right there on the back tailgate. That's going to let Chad Cole go to the inside, maybe upset Anthony's car just for the moment. As you got Adam right there. Now he's going to stick his nose in for 3 wide. Is this going to work?
Oh, my goodness. Look at this. 3 wide through 1 and 2. You got Cole on the inside. Gilliland in the middle, DeBarro up high with Edson in the 40 car back there watching this whole thing. And there's still 3 wide going down the backstretch, Joe.
Wow, and I'm going to tell you what, if anybody sits here and thinks, well, hey, that's a chase driver. Why in the world is he driving like that or this early on? You don't think these guys don't want to be
then you don't know what they can
get. That's it. Well, if you don't think the guys want to try to win this title, or it's not important to them, you can already see it on the track the way that they're driving right now. They're driving their heart out. Chad Cole's right there in the mix. Anthony DeBarro's there. Adam's there. But Adam also knows that, hey, Anthony's going to drive good. Daniel's going to drive well. Justin, Chad, he knows these guys week in and week out are going to constantly be at the top unless just something drastic happens. He knows he has to have good finishes here because, again, we take it back. Unless he's just going to win all the races, then it's going to be close heading into the last one going into Homestead.
Absolutely. And I mean, look what's coming up in the next 2 weeks. You got Richmond next week. Good short track race right there, but man, it's a brutal race for these Cup cars. And then after that, you got the Roval, Joe. And I mean, man, I've seen some action on that Roval with these guys, and it's not pretty. It's really not.
And that's some wild card races in the chase here. So you've got to come out of this first race guns a-blazing, I think, really to set yourself up good so that you can pace yourself, maybe make it to the next round of the chase here. And after those 3 races, like you said, I think that Roval race, if you find yourself in a hole or you're having to make it coming into the Roval, that puts yourself in you're putting yourself in a bad situation. So I think this race and next week are the 2 that you've got to really aim for to try to put yourself in the best position you can.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And we got one already on pit road. Let's see, a lot of them. Fuller's on pit road. Falkingham's on pit road. It looks like they brought
Justin.
Yeah, they brought in. I can't see who the car is now. I lost them, but yeah, we got a lot of leaders on pit road now.
Yeah, pit road's a busy place as of the moment right now. Tommy Ryan's come in, like you said, Daniel Falkenham, Justin Fuller, some of the front runners. The ones that did not come in, Anthony Navarro, Adam Gillian, Chad Cole, David Comstock, and Timothy Johnson, some of the top runners there that were behind them there did not come in, but for the most part. So, I want to see how this pans out as far as, but now you're going to see those guys. So we're going to have a lap different between tires, between kind of like the top 5 to top 7 drivers.
I don't know if you saw it or not, but man, that was a race and a half coming off pit lane, and it looks like Falkingham won that race coming off pit lane. He's out in front of Fuller coming off pit road here, and so if that stands, if nobody got penalized, that's a big change in the lead right there for this race.
Looks good so far. Daniel Falkenham right there, but Justin Fuller's going to try to see. Again, remember, Justin is so good on new tires. That's going to have to maybe try to change the mindset there of Daniel Falkenham. Daniel's going to have to say, okay, Justin's going to put the hammer down on newer tires. He was able to get out front, and I think that's the game plan of Justin. Let me get out front early on, get a huge lead, and then I'll let the tires wear themselves out as they're going to run up on Glenn Campbell. Wow, 3 wide.
Oh, 3 wide. Here we go.
That was close. Woo, well, I tell you, that right there just shows you that these guys want this very bad right now. Now, if Daniel, though, can sit there and hold Justin up, I think this actually favors Daniel in the long run.
Absolutely. He's got that clean air on his nose now. I don't think Fuller's been facing having a car in front of him other than Cohan for a little while there. So we'll see how he handles that. But I think you're right. I think once Falkingham gets out there in front like this, after 4 or 5 laps, that's going to kind of diminish Fuller's chances of getting around him.
Yes, it is. And it's going to change the game plan of what Justin's got. Because you remember, later in the run, Daniel was able to run down Justin. So that's the thing. I think, man, I tell you, they are splitting these lap cars, which they got to, because Daniel has no choice. He can't sit back. I mean, he's got Justin right there, and Justin's not going to sit back. These guys are definitely racing their heart out. I mean, they got to get through that lap traffic. But I think right now, you know, even if Justin was to make it around, see that. But even if Justin makes it around him, I think Daniel's still in the catbird seat. I think he's still where he wants to be at.
That was a close call for him, though. I think he got just a little bit of the apron right there in 3 and 4, and his car stepped out on him. Really great save when you stop and look at how fast the speeds are going through the corner.
I feel like right now he is close enough to close that gap back. We'll have to see how the run goes here with Justin Fuller and Daniel right there behind him. Sean Castro right now, the man out front, along with Nick Silver. They have yet to pit. They have went 51 laps. Now, what that tells us right there, John, is, well,
my math
blew
sucks.
it blew our pit window out the water. But it does show you how far these guys can go if they choose to stretch this. Maybe some of the back end guys like Justin Fuller, Daniel, or so forth, just to see how far they can go, because Nelson Rivera is still out, Jason Barham, Jonathan Lockhart, and Nick Cohan have all not pitted, so the top 6 drivers right now have yet to come into the pit lane.
And we know what Cohan's doing. He's trying to see if caution's going to come out and give him a chance to get his lap back, because we know that he went down early. As for the rest of those guys, I think you're right. They're trying to gauge how much fuel they're going to need to get to the end of this race and how many pit stops they have to do it in. Which, I mean, in this car, let's be honest, with this car, towards the end of a fuel run, it's not that difficult to drive, or at least let me rephrase that. It's not that difficult to save if it gets out of shape on you.
And you can see Nick Cohan right now in 6th place. Justin Fuller and him's going to run him down. I'm watching the lap times here. What's kind of interesting, and something that it's kind of interesting just to bring up for the viewers here. Justin Fuller ran a 30.429, which is is about right for 7-lap in tires. And Sean right there ran a 31.8, which is 54 lap in tires. We see Nick Cohan coming on pit road right now.
Yep.
But what I'm trying to get at there is that's only a second, as you see Sean coming in right now. But that was only, about a second and a half difference. After a while, those tires will neutralize with each other. And if you're far enough out, this game plan by Sean and them, I got a feeling I'm seeing what they're doing here. Maybe trying to make it with one more stop. And everybody else would have to go longer, but they would actually be out there on newer tires.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's an excellent strategy. If this race goes green the rest of the way,
Yes.
that's the big if right now. I mean, these guys are their tires right now, as it goes, are going to be 7, 8, 9 laps fresher than Falkingham and Fuller.
Absolutely.
And that's going to play in their favor if this stays green. That's the big if now. They don't have me on track tonight, Joe, so they can't count on me for a caution.
Well, right now we've been caution-free so far. It's actually cycled back around. Justin Fuller out front, but Daniel Falkingham right there in his tire tracks. And I think this is what Daniel wants, just to sit there for the moment, because he knows Justin, after a while, we'll just have to see if Justin's changed his game plan a little bit on how he's driving. We'll see if he's driving as hard as he was, not pulling away from Daniel like he was. So I got a feeling Justin has kind of adjusted to the track and the conditions a little bit. He's kind of calmed down this run.
Yes, he had. And I think, he's just really hoping and praying that he can make his car last a little bit longer than Falkingham back there behind him is what he's doing.
Absolutely. What's that about that game and Sean? I see Sean Bounty out there, man, and he was helping me out with your name, Mush Chin.
Mush Chin, yeah. And by the way, that's
Chin.
me. Who Dat Gaming? That's me.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So hi, Joe.
Well, how you doing? Well, I want to appreciate
Doing
everybody
pretty good.
tuning in. I tell you what, it's been a fantastic race so far. It's been one that we kind of figured it would be at Las Vegas. Even in the real NASCAR side of things, this place kind of usually is a tire and a fuel mileage style race. Not a lot of cautions. Obviously, a few here and there, but usually we can get on pit strategies with a track like Las Vegas, and so far that's what we've had as we went through some green flag pit stops. The one thing about green flag stops there here, John, does split the field up, and you can see the top two guys. Well, the third place man, Adam Gillian, he's 1.7 seconds back, and Anthony Navarro's right there. But you also see the fourth, fifth place, which is kind of a good battle going on here with Trey Etz, Tommy Ryan, Chad Cole. They're about 2.5 seconds from the leader.
Yeah, we got a little four-car pack right there fighting for those spots. And look at that, Ryan pushing to the outside. They're going to try that high groove. Wow, I'm really surprised that he lost that much momentum right there. You really got to enter that 3 and 4 a little bit higher than he did, though. When you let it wash up, you're just going to, well, as you saw right there, Joe, you're going to scrub your speed off.
Yes, you are. So far, so good. Chad Cole looking on the inside, trying to work over Tommy Ryan for the moment. David Comstock there behind him. Now let's go back here. Josh Parker, he is in the mix. Got that McDonald's machine looking good in the 9th place. Timothy Johnson, he's trying to drive a little alone right there in the 10th place spot. Outside the top 10, Mike Kelly and Jose Gonzalez, call him Speedy right there. Nigel Standish right there also sitting in 13th. Scott Ritter. Now, I got to bring up Scott Ritter here for a second and show off for the moment, because me and him's been going over. He was proud of his new paint job out here, and I love showing guys paint jobs off.
Nice.
I love showing their sponsors off, and he's got adrenaline. Get it right, folks. I'm gonna get it right. All right, adrenaline. Yeah, something like that. FX.
Adrenaline fix.
There you go. Adrenaline fix. That's it. So he's an adrenaline junkie out here, and so it looks good as a paint job out there. I love showing guys paints off, and just on Scott Ritter right now having a good run. He's sitting in a 13th place spot. They're kind of all nose to tail right there. He could kind of get a little bit more. Yes,
he can. Just got to bide his time, play his cards right there, and just keep the fenders on it. Really, I tell you what, if you're looking for a pretty car, why don't you pan back there to number 14 car of Joey Jatina for a second.
Joey Jatina. Let's see where he's at. He's back here in 22nd. Yeah, let's get a close-up of that and let the viewers see what we got going on. Right there, Real Die.
Relodyne.
Relodyne. All right, Relodyne.
That's the company that Joey works for.
Oh, okay, good deal. See, now I like that too. I'll get that touch on here in just a second. Folks, I'm going to go ahead and apologize. I mean, I don't have a BS degree in broadcasting. My English is not all that great. I'm just, an old Southern guy here, man, that loves to get out here calling these races, and I do mess up names and words. So I do apologize if you're wanting NBC, well, turn the TV on. But anyway.
we'll get Dale Jr. in the booth next week.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. But hey, Relodyne, that is cool. Well, there you go. Looks good. There's another thing I want to touch on. I love real-time sponsors. I've said this a million times in past broadcasts. iRacing in general is the realest thing you can get without spending millions of dollars.
Absolutely.
Without stepping foot into a real car. But also with that is you can showcase off real-time sponsors. Transervice Logistics, a real-time company. Look them up out there. Coming on board, sponsoring the Cup Series here. We've got Kick-Ass Beef Jerky sponsors Xfinity, WCIParts.com sponsoring the Truck Series, a host of cars out here who have real-time sponsors on them, like we just said here with Joey's car. Many others out here have some awesome paint jobs and sponsors. So it is a growing thing. Sim racing is huge. It is big. It's out there. I even, simspeedshop.com coming on board here with OSRN Network, online simracingnetwork.com. For the broadcast, they do awesome stuff with the button boxes. So it is nice to see throughout the sim world, real-time sponsors here, and also the competition that we have in the league here of SIM500.
Absolutely. I mean, Transervice really stepped up with the Cup Series here at SIM500. They put in a really big purse for these guys, and it's cash money, Joe. At the season's end, I forget how much the purse is. I know it's a substantial amount. It's over $150, I believe.
Yeah.
Just for the leader alone. So I mean, it's fantastic. But back to the race, I want to touch on something here. I don't know what happened to Daniel, but he has lost a substantial amount of time to Justin Fuller on track. He was less than 2/10 behind him about 5 laps ago, but now he finds himself 6/10 off that lead way back there.
I see that. He's right now, he's been able to gain a little bit on him as he's just trying to work over this lap car right now. Maybe the lap car picked him in between there and got him off pace. I do see at the moment, though, he is a touch faster than Justin, and this is about the time we started seeing him picking up pace on Justin Fuller. So we'll see if he'll be able to get around that lap car there and be able to do some damage here. But, you talked about the chase, too, there, John. You talked about the prizes. We can't forget also there's some other prizes. Englishtown Auto brought out what they call it was a dash for cash. They paid that out, and that was an outstanding thing that they paid out there, $60 to the winner in the top 5.
Yeah.
But also Ford Entertainment, Fed. Man, if you go on the website and read, there is a Iron Man thing. Now, from what I read, he's giving away a custom PC to the man who completes the most laps consistently throughout the whole season, and there's some stipulations to it there, and it's on the website, but want to give him a shout out. So we're talking about sponsors in
Jeff
general,
Scott,
and it's all Jeff Scott. So in general, it's awesome all around. The racing on the tracks are awesome all around. But you're right, Adam Gillian right now is actually closing in on Daniel Falkenham for second.
I was trying to go back to the replay and see what happened. I can't find anything really. I don't know if he brushed the wall. I don't see any damage on his car.
That lap car was what it was. I think that lap car might have picked between him and Justin and got him off the pace just a little bit. Remember we were talking about momentum earlier on.
Yeah,
and maybe
absolutely.
It might have been a momentum thing there. But we got to pay attention here to Adam, Anthony, and David Comstock, who have all of a sudden run down the leaders. I said they were 2.5 seconds back. Guess what? Now they're right there within 0.8 of Justin Fuller.
That's what, and I have to agree with you, Joe. I'm looking at this. It's got to be lap traffic. Lap traffic slowed the 2 front runners down. It's going to allow these guys in 3rd through 7th to catch up to them. And I'll be damned if we're not going to have a hell of a fight here shortly for the lead on lap 72, which is just, 20 laps short of the next pit window. So, this is going to get exciting.
Right. You know, I'm seeing also Adam taking a high line. He is way up there rim riding that wall, and it actually is working out. Look at him as he heads off into the turn. Man, he is right there. One little small error, he'll be into the wall. That car pushes.
Oh.
But look at the run he gets off the turn as he's actually able to close in on Daniel's back bumper.
I'm sorry, I'm grunting over here. I mean, between Daniel's wiggle coming off before and Adam's wiggle coming through the trial wheel just now, you can see that these tires are really starting to give up the grip and get slick and greasy on this track. And here's this run that we talked about that Gilliland's going to get on that high side, come down the backstretch, fighting Falkenham's going to take the spot. So move the 81 car of Adam Gilliland up to second place.
I mean, the thing is, though, you saw right there Anthony, Adam, and actually David Comstock, all three of them machines went into the turn and were up against the wall. I think they have found something around the track here later on in the run that right now Daniel Falkenham and Justin Fuller have yet to experiment with. They're staying kind of low, medium to the track, but those three cars are up there on the wall. I'm waiting for them to get out there in the grandstand and try to find a new track.
You're absolutely right. Well, you know what, that's that Kyle Larson / if you're old school like me, Harry Gant line, as we used to call it. Old Handsome Harry was known for rim riding and making it work everywhere he went. And you're absolutely right, Joe. They found something up there in that high lane that's allowed them this late in the race to make up a lot of ground on Falkenham and Fuller. They've already caught Falkenham. Gilliland's gotten by him. I think DeBarro's going to be, and look at this. Oh, Comstock way out of shape.
He did, and almost got up into the wall there for a moment and kind of lost his momentum. But you see Anthony DeBarro right now going for that third place spot. And I tell you, Adam Gilliland right now is pulling away, and he is running down Justin Fuller. This is not what the other chase drivers want to see. Adam Gilliland finding something and fast on the track because he has been hard to beat all season long. And if he starts getting momentum in the chase, wow, it's going to be a long road for the rest of the guys.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I mean, Fuller's got to be looking at the mirror and going, what the heck did this dude figure out that I need to work on here? I mean, literally, what was it, 15 laps ago when we checked this, they were 2.5 seconds back, Joe, and Gilliland's down to 0.8 right now and closing as we speak.
Closing in on the gap right there. Adam is sitting in second, Justin out front right now. They're up high. Now Justin's going to try to travel up high a little bit and see if he can. Some guys can race that high line up against the wall. Some guys don't feel comfortable. I was one, quite personally, that I didn't want to get nowhere near the wall. Whether it was the fastest way around or not, I just tried to stay away from it. Yeah, I just wanted to stay away from it because I was going to hit it no matter what.
Well, I'll tell you, I during the races this week at Vegas myself, I tried that high line in the IS Open, and 4X later and 16 seconds worth of damage in the pit stop, I decided it just was not for me. But you're right, it takes a really damn good driver, especially in the sim racing, because you don't have the the seat of the pants feel, I guess you could call it, in a sim car that you would a real race car. So it takes a lot of talent to do what Gilliland and those guys are doing right now, and that's run so high to that wall and yet stay off of it and make up the time they have.
And so far, it's working very well for Adam right now. You see Anthony, though, still trying to work over Daniel. He is staying up high himself right there. David Comstock's up there high on the high line. But right now, later on in the run, we're seeing the high lane working as most of these guys, at least about the top three of them here, are way up there against the wall running around on the turns.
Oh, man, you know what snuck by us? The halfway point there, Joe. We're already on lap 80 right here. Well past halfway, as a matter of fact. But lap 80 puts us within the fuel window to make it into the race. I do believe, by my math, if it's anywhere close this time, some of these guys like Sean Casto and them, they stretched at 50-some-odd laps before they had to pit last time by. So we'll call it maybe within the next 3 to 5 laps, we'll start seeing some of these guys come in now and make it on one more stop, on the last stop.
I don't know if you just saw that, but let's go back on the replay here and watch just what happened to Adam Gilliland. I think he got up there and bumped the wall, and the car just shot down to the bottom of the track. Yep, boom, got up into the wall. Wow. Went back on the replay and watched it right there. He chased it down the back stretch, but that is risk versus reward. Problem is, put damage on the right side. That's going to let Daniel run right back up on the back end. Probably going to hurt the momentum of that car and the handling some.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be real tight now for him. I can promise you that. It's going to be super tight. In the meantime, behind them, look at this. Comstock dives down on the inside to borrow in that 27 car, coming through 3 and 4, trying to make that pass happen right there. Doesn't quite clear him, doesn't quite get ahead of him there, and DeBarro's going to work his way back to the outside and try and hold that spot.
Very good battle here for second on back. You've got Daniel Falkenham's going to take it for the moment. Adam's going to try to fight back on the high line. He's way up there against the wall again. He's not giving up that spot so easily. Behind him, Anthony DeBarro. David Comstock will go door to door. Don't count Trey Edson out. He can get back up here in this mix as you've got 2x2 right now for second on back.
Look at how much these cars bounce, Joe, going down, especially that backstretch back there. So bumpy right there on these cars.
It is. Then the man right now who is definitely probably feeling a sigh of release, that's Justin Fuller, because he was getting chased down in a hurry. Now he's back out to 1.8 second and going, okay, I got some breathing room. I can kind of race my own races. These guys back here have got a duel going on here in the desert of Las Vegas tonight. As here comes David Comstock firing down to the inside. He's going to try to make the pass on Adam, and he's got it for the moment. We'll see if we'll be able to hold on to it.
He passed 2 cars in 1 turn. That's insane. And look at this. DeBarro fights back on the inside, comes to the tri-oval. That was insane.
It just shows you the momentum of the track right there. David was able to make the pass, but then here comes Anthony, was able to just zoom right back up underneath him and make the pass back. But I said Trey Edson, keep your eye on him. Guess what? He's there.
He is there, indeed. He's taking advantage of that damage on the right side of Gilliland's car. I really think that's hurting Gilliland right now. He's giving up a ton of room, a ton of space, ton of time is what I'm trying to say there. I'll get out eventually. In the meantime, look behind these guys. We've got 3 more cars coming up. Tommy Ryan, Chad Cole, and Nick Silver back there in that McDonald's car. All these guys are going to make their presence known here shortly also.
And Adam back into the wall again. Like I said, up high against that wall, the way he's running the line, it is risk versus reward up there. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it don't. Now, the one thing that Adam right now at this point I think he needs to think about is at least he is later on in the run. It's getting close to the pit cycle. He can get maybe some of that damage taken care of, but he does not want to lose. Again, we talked about it earlier on. If you get yourself, I mean, we've still got 37 cars running tonight, and 33 of them are on the lead lap. If he was to have a devastating run, it's going to put him in a hole here in the start of the chase.
Absolutely. He can't afford to make any mistakes right now. So I would, well, me anyway, I would go into damage control mode. I've already got a damaged race car. It's already cost me some time here. I wouldn't give up too big of a fight. I wouldn't put up too big of a fight for these spots. I let these guys go, knowing they're faster than me for a reason. And hopefully maybe a caution will come out and get some of that damage fixed. But, oh, look at that. He and Cole almost got together going into one just now. And that's what I'm talking about. He's got to be careful. You just touched on it. 37 cars on track tonight, 33 of them still on the lead lap. Anything happens to him that's going to require pit time, he's going to lose a ton of spots, and he only has a 27-spot cushion between himself and the guy dead last in the chase right now.
And that's huge when you're coming in and when you come out of this race here tonight. Like I say, with the races we got coming up with Richmond, anything can happen there, and definitely the Roval. And you see the 23 machine right there, Josh Parker. He is going to split the middle and try to go in the inside. Adam probably is going to think better of it and kind of slip out of there and say, okay, go ahead. You want it more than I want it right now.
Absolutely. And, you know, it goes back to just being smart and playing it safe. But look at that. He's going to bump Trav Parker going down into 3 right there. I don't know if I'd have done that, but okay. But Gilliland's not giving up on that high line, Joe. He is not giving up on it.
No, but right now, and it's probably the thing that's kind of helping him out for the moment is Tommy Ryan's going on the inside. Chad Cole still hanging on to it. Justin Fuller's the man who is loving every bit of it. He's got a 2.5 second lead and a good cushion out front leading it with Daniel Falkenham there in second. Trey Edson sitting in third. As they've got a good battle. Anthony DeBarro and David Comstock there.
Absolutely. I tell you, Fuller, he's really strong tonight. I mean, he had a challenge for a while there. Look at Edson getting loose down there coming off the 4. You know, he had a challenge a little while there from Falkenham, but man, he's in beast mode tonight, Joe. He's led every lap. Except for the pit stops, the green flag pit stops, and the 4 or 5 laps that Falkenham got in front of him coming off those pit stops. But other than that, he's just been the man to beat tonight.
And you notice one thing, it looks like they're taking it a little bit longer on this pit cycle. You know, we said before we saw some guys go 51, 52 laps. Right now, they've been out there for 44 laps so far. The Nick Silver and Sean right there, the only ones 35 and 34. They could take it a lot longer. What will help them, and I kind of look here, I'm gonna try to maybe see if I can. If this thing goes green, obviously we're going off saying that it will go green the rest of the way. If within, let's say, in the next 7 laps that Daniel, and it looks like Justin, never mind, Justin is already on pit road. Fuller on pit road. So let's say within the next 4 or 5 laps that Daniel and them come on pit road, and Nick Silver and them want to stay out. I don't know if they want to push it as far as they did and let them get close, but do they do a 2-tire stop to maybe keep that distance? Because they're only going to have, what, 30 laps? Maybe less than 30 laps to go.
Oh, 2 tires, Joe. I don't know, man. Look, you're talking to the worst pit strategist in the world. I ain't going to lie. It has bit me in the butt more times than it's helped me out. So I'm the last person in the world you want to take and question about, hey, what do you think they should do? I'm just going to say this. Whoever does it right wins. How's that sound?
There you go. Absolutely. Chad Cole on pit road. He is one of the top guys here chasing contenders tonight. So it looks around about lap 93. It'll be interesting to see when Nick Silver and Sean there come in. They've been out for 38 and 37 laps. That's 10 laps different than Daniel Falkingham. So 10 laps would actually put them at 104, 103 if they actually stayed out and stretched it that far. They've got to think about how far do they stretch it, how far do they let those other guys catch up to them, because they've got to be able to make it through the pit stop and make it out front and still have a gap in between them that those guys will have to make up and run down. That's kind of the pit strategy. But it looks like Daniel right now is looking to maybe pull this thing as far as he possibly can. He's been out there for 48 laps so far.
Which is close to how far we thought they could actually. Oh, look, he's coming in now.
He is, and he's bringing Anthony along with him and David Comstock. So the top runners all on pit road, 47 laps in. I'm interested to see what Sean and Nick does in this one, along with Nelson Rivera. Got Jason Barham right there with them, just to see what those guys do as far as pit stops. Kind of get up here and talk about it. They could actually go another 5 to 7 laps respectively. We've seen them do it. Do they want to do that? Because let's see, Justin Fuller coming out of pits. Where's he at right now? He's a lap down. If Justin Fuller makes it around them, then they got to think about pitting at that moment.
Absolutely. I mean, once that advantage is gone, you've got to bring it in. You absolutely have to bring it in. Oh, wow. Fuller really caught Gilliland a lot faster than he was planning to right there. He drives around at him to get his lap back, but gosh, I forgot the question was, Joe.
Oh, well, I mean, just to see, yeah.
Gilliland almost looped it. Did you see that?
On pit road, let's go back on the replay.
Yeah, and I'm not sure he got slowed down in time either.
Let's go back and watch here. He is definitely coming on pit road. Adam Gilliland right now. Yeah, he loaded that thing down. Wow. That's just old tires right there. Just not agreeing with you.
Yeah. When you forget how long you've been out there and you try and come in hot like that, it's kind of precarious. It really is.
Now, here's the thing. Sean is out front leading. Justin is back. He is only right now 21 seconds back. If Sean pits, he's going to lose the lead no matter what. I'd come in pit now and hope that the new tires run down Justin. I mean, I don't know what to do at this point, besides if a caution came out.
Yep, and barring the caution, this is going to be their last pit stop. So, Castro's got a lot to think about right here. He really does. He and Barham both. Barham's 19 seconds back there. Fuller's now 19. I'm sorry. Barham's 9 seconds back. Fuller last time by was 19.8. He's making up a second and a half a lap there, Joe. So Castro's got to make up his mind now what he's going to do.
And, I got to credit him. And the reason I got credit is he is one of the chase drivers. Sean is out here. So he is fighting for, the chase spot and having a good finish here, whatever he needs to do. But he's kind of made his bed here as far as pit stops goes. This track is kind of, it leads to going green. And cautions sometimes do not play in your favor. But right now, Justin Fuller is on the back stretch. Sean is heading out of the front stretch into turn 1. So he's got about 3/4 of a track right now between him.
He does, and it's a good thing, but I don't think he's got enough. We know he doesn't have enough fuel to go all the way.
No.
But it's just a matter of how much ground does he want to give up right now to Fuller, who has just now passed Jason Barham. Correction, Barham's in the pits. So now Castro's the only one on track who has not. And as we say that, here he comes down in the pit. Nope, that was Trioval. I'm sorry. So yeah, back to what we were saying. I think he's just, he's gonna have to weigh the odds there and figure out what he wants to do.
Yeah, because at this point, when he does pit, it's going to drop him all the way back to. That's probably going to put him a lap down, so he's going to be back in the teens somewhere. Just not working out. I think he's right now. He's probably praying for a caution. Yeah, I mean, because he knows if he pits, he's going to lose a massive amount of time. It's Justin Fuller right now, still down the backstretch. I'm looking at the lap times. There's less than a second separating the lap times now. The longer it goes, yes, Justin Fuller, his tires will kind of level off. He won't gain as much on Sean as he was before, but still Sean's going to have to pit eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. He does not have the gas to make it to the end. I'm mesmerized by that paint job. I'm not going to lie. That color blue with that color yellow, that's a fantastic looking car. I'm sorry.
It's been the Napa car.
It does, doesn't it? But I think it's a throwback. I want to say he did it as a throwback to somebody, but I can't remember who.
Like. Yeah, it reminds me of the Napa car, but I'm with you. I think that is a throwback of something. I can't remember what it is myself. That's some old age talking there.
Yes, sir. I feel you. Believe me, I do. But, oh, wow, Leah got a little piece of the wall right there in his 18 car. Back to what we're talking about with Sean, I mean, he can go a good long ways. Look at that. Bum drafting by Donnie Leah going down to turn one. That's not something you want to have happen.
No, right now, Justin Fuller's 13.9 seconds behind him and is gaining. But if you look at the lap times, we talk about it, the longer that they run, obviously the longer Justin runs, he's not going to be as fast because he ran a 31.0 to a 31.8. It's only about 0.8 difference. As before, he was well over a second. So he's not going to run him down as fast as he was before. You got Daniel Falkingham right now sitting in third back there, who is actually on a lot newer tire than Justin. That might actually benefit him because lap time wise he's a lot quicker. The problem is he's a little bit further. He's about 6 seconds off from Justin.
And the thing is, I mean, you said it earlier, these tires plateau. I mean, they get to a point where they stop slowing down. The car stops slowing down. About 15, 20 laps into a run, you'll just keep running those 31.8s, 31.9s. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get much slower than that. So this could work out in Castro's favor. Believe it or not, I mean, if he can push this thing a few more laps, he's already been out for 51 laps, I think. Just a couple more laps, he might be able to pit in, grab his fuel, get back out, and actually run down Justin and those guys.
Yeah, and another thing that, Justin at that point probably wouldn't want to see would be a caution, because right now I'm watching the lap times, 31.7 to a 31.2. It was 13.9. It's only 12.5 now, so he's not running him down at the pace he was before. I mean, obviously he's still going to run him down some, but, we're talking about it. That's going to kind of level off as you're still seeing Sean out there. How long can he go? I think he went 52, 53, I think, last time. Got a feeling he's coming in at this point.
Well, he's down low on the track right now, Joe. Here he comes. Now, the thing about Sean, I'm looking at his lap times. He was in that 31.6, 31.9 range for 35 laps, 34 laps, excuse me. So that tells you right there, these tires plateau. They stop wearing, the time stays at one spot, so this might help him out. Lap 108 out of 134, Joe, he's only got 26 laps to go. Let's see what happens here.
And the thing about it too is, with him being in the chase, even if he does not pull the win off here, he could get a solid top 10 by doing what he's doing right here, because he's going to come out. He's not going to be any further back than, he's going to be in the 20s, but he should be able to come back through
really good tires.
Yeah, really good tires. He should be able to at least chase back down a lot of these guys. It'll be interesting to keep an eye on him here over the last 20-some laps, but Justin Fuller's going to take back over the lead. Daniel Falkenham is only 2.7 seconds, 2.6 seconds back, and is about 5/10 quicker than Justin. And Justin right now is marred in a bunch of traffic.
Well, one question has been answered. He took 4 tires, Sean did.
Yes.
He's back on track now, coming through 3 and 4. We'll get him sorted out here in a second, folks. Let's see. He's going to come out
right now.
24th, still on the lead lap. So good for him. Barely though. He's just right in front of the leaders at the moment.
And, we'll just have to see what the time. I mean, he's going to be able to make an astronomical amount of time. What's up, John? How you doing out there? He's going to be able to make up an astronomical amount of time. I feel like he might be able to crack back in the top 10, which would be an outstanding points night for him right now. Justin Fuller is the man who's got to try to hang on, because Daniel Falkenham is coming in a hurry, and he's got 4-lap newer tires than Justin. At this point, does Justin see this in his relative and go, okay, let me save for the moment, and when he gets closer, drop the hammer? We'll just have to see what happens. Anthony DeBarro is back there too. Josh Parker, good run, outstanding run for him in 4th. David Comstock rounds the top 5. So interesting to see. But what Justin doesn't want to see, John, is Daniel actually, for the moment, if he gets around those 2 lap
we got cars spinning down to the infield. 2 of them, the 6 car,
that's the lap cars.
Didn't see the one. Yeah, they were lap cars. But it stays green. That's the big thing right there. It stays green.
And I just mentioned those 2 lap cars separating Daniel and Justin. I believe that was the 2, or 2 of them that actually was. Oh, yeah, I just saw the replay right there. The 6 got up. Yeah. Jonathan Lockhart just got up into the wall, and obviously Robert Gillenwater nowhere to go. Just everybody, came sliding on, and obviously off the race service, so no caution. But here's what I just want to go back to. Daniel Falkenham now only has 1 lap car in between him and Justin, and he is still faster on the track. He has plenty of time to be able to do it, man. It's going to be close.
He's now got about 22 laps to go here to narrow that lead down and catch up to Fuller. But here's the thing, though, Joe, as we both know, getting to Justin Fuller is one thing. Getting by him is completely different.
Well, and you're right. I just got a feeling if Daniel can get close to him and get to the bumper, he might think
he might knock on that door, huh?
Yeah, move him out the way a little bit. Not saying that he would, but we'll just have to see. And you're right. I always say when they go off down in there helping out the landscape and weed eating a little bit. Now, we're watching the lap times. Daniel's actually looked like he's fallen off just a little bit. He's still a touch faster. Think about it is, with the 2.1 second lead that Justin has, he's going to need to be knocking some tenths off, because we've only got 20 laps to go. He's going to have to knock at least a tenth or 2 tenths a lap to even get near him before the end of it.
And he's just not doing that right now, Joe. I'm watching his lap times too, and he's making up 1,000th of a lap, but that's just not going to cut it right now. And did I just see sparks come off that car from him getting the wall?
Which one?
Oh, no, never mind. I'm sorry. It looked like DeBarro back there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, DeBarro's back up on that high line along with David Comstock. Again, don't count them out. They're there. They're only 2.6 seconds, and I'm watching their times. From the top 5 guys, they're all 31. They're all in 31.5s. So if that kind of tells you how close they are, there's not even a tenth separating the top 6. Speed-wise.
Right. And I tell you, the lap car of Joey Jattina just moved on out of Daniel's way there and gave him all the room he needed to race. So, didn't put up a fight at all. So Falkenham's got clear shot now all the way up there to Fuller, who I think is, he's already stretched it back out. He got that 10th back that he gave up to Fuller a minute ago. He's got 1 lap car right here to deal with, that 32 car.
That'd be the one thing is that might help out Daniel. We've seen it help him out in the past, is if that lap car, man, puts up any kind of fight. Doesn't look like it. Looks like Justin's going to be able to get around him. Well, I thought there for the moment he almost come up into him, though.
Big wiggle out of the 51 car right there. Got wicked loose coming off of 4, and that is exactly what Falkenham wants to see. He wants to see that. He wants to see these mistakes. I wouldn't say mistakes, Joe, but, definitely bobbles by the 51 car here.
He absolutely wants to see, and we're going to see the next lap car that he has right there in front of him. if he'll be able to get around him. But the 32 machine right there kind of helped out Daniel. Yeah, helped him out just a little bit for the moment. And you've already seen Justin now. He's getting wiggly. Hopefully he hasn't run those tires out. We'll have to see at the end of this run. That's another thing to think about. This thing keeps going green. You know, Daniel could start knocking some time off if those tires wear out on Justin.
I'll tell you what, believe it or not, he actually gained a 10th there. With all that craziness going on, he gained time on Falkingham.
Anthony's right there chewing up the back end of Daniel Falkingham for second place right now.
That's
Josh
what it
Parker.
is,
yeah, Josh Parker right now, though. Wow, right there amongst these guys, looking good.
Looking really good. And Parker's another chase driver, so he's got to do the same thing as everybody else in this chase to get it all he can for this first race, especially with his 2 wild card races we have coming up. I mean, Richmond, Joe, isn't a complete wild card. I mean, it's a short track, but damn, it drives like a speedway. But man, that Roval is going to be intense.
I don't think Parker's a chase driver.
He's not.
Not seeing a Parker on the top.
I'm sorry,
16.
you're right.
Oh,
I'm seeing the yellow. I'm seeing the yellow trim on his car, which threw me off.
But you know what? I have said it a million times. You know, just because we got chase drivers out here don't mean you just got to move out the way for chase drivers.
Not.
If you got a fast enough car, and I've heard guys argue me in the ground with this before. Well, Joe, no, they need to get out the way, but they just shouldn't be running. You know what? If I got a fast enough car, I don't care if you're the man that's leading the race. Now, I'm not going to wreck you or anything like that, but if I've got a fast enough car to run with you and win the race, well, I'm going to run with you and try to win that race.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be there with you.
And he's right there doing it. I mean, he's right there sitting in, fourth spot right now. Put on a great run for that 23 car of Josh Parker. Oh, look at that. DeBarro got up just a little touch on that bumper of Falkingham, let him know he's back there and wants that spot.
Yes, he did. He was very close right there. We're right on the inside. He's looking on the inside of him for the moment. On a touch right there, see if he can't make that inside lane work. Anthony DeBarro's trying to get the second place spot. This is definitely going to help out Justin Fuller out front right now, as these two guys will go door to door for second for the moment.
This is absolutely what Fuller wants to see, is these guys battling it out back there behind him. We're coming down at 10 laps to go in a couple of laps here, Joe. We got 12 laps left right now. This is exactly what Fuller wants to see in his rearview mirror.
And we were just talking about Josh Parker, and I just said race him, and he is watching this race in front of him unfold between 2 chase drivers, but he's going, fellas, I just want to get up here and have a good finish and maybe win this race if I can. Y'all can battle for points. Just do it behind me.
That's right. He's right up in there in the mix. And Falkingham fights back. Falkingham's changed his line a little bit from what we've seen him run all night long. Really, he kind of, preferred that low line, but he's definitely changed his line now up to that high line to try and keep the bar behind him. But he did that. But look at this. Fuller pushes him down to 3, gives him just a little bit more speed than he wanted going into that turn. See if he can try and make the pass. Doesn't quite pan out for him, though. Fuller falls back to 3rd spot.
Man, that was Parker right there. He put the bumper to the back end of Daniel, pushed him down the back stretch, pushed him into that turn, and pushed him past Anthony DeBarro for that spot. Josh Parker's a mean man on a mission right now, trying to have an outstanding finish. He's sitting in 3rd, but Justin Fuller's the man out front. Now, let's just give you an update. Sean Castro, we were talking about, remember, he was the man who pitted. He's up in the 16th spot. Remember, he was way back in the 20-some. So he is keeping it rolling. Well, we've got less than 10 to go in this one. Yeah, he is definitely. I got a feeling he might be able to get to that 10th place spot. Maybe. We'll just have to see how it works out. Another driver we need to check in on, Adam Gillian. Remember, he popped the wall earlier on. He's back in 8th. He comes in. He was the man that dominated the regular season. For folks out there that didn't know, he won the most races pretty much. He just set the pace for the regular season. He comes in here leading 27 points over the field in the chase here tonight. Well, hit the wall a little bit earlier, just scrubbed it, didn't really do a lot of damage, but just enough to slow the car down. He's back in 8th place right now, so he's trying to just salvage what he can here tonight. Absolutely,
and he's doing fine. I mean, he's got a 27-point lead over the dead last guy in the chase. I believe he's. Let's see here. I got the points right here in front of me. He's got a 9-point lead over Falkingham, so he's going to maintain. If it finishes the way it does right now, he'll maintain this points lead. It'll be chopped down a lot. I can tell you that right now. Falkingham will gain a few points on him. Yeah, but he'll be okay. But it's like we touched on earlier. This is just the first race of the chase. We've got a bunch more coming, but the two that coming up next, Richmond and Roval, Adam's going to have to be really on top of his game to maintain that points lead.
Now, one thing I do like that they do a little bit different here in the SIM500, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it's not win and you're in to the next chase series. I like that. It's the older style chase format. I like that. It all works off of points. So even though Justin Fuller coming out here with if he wins this race and finishes off like he is right now and wins, comes out of here with a great points night here, it all could still go south by the time they get to the Roval, which would be race number 3 of the first part of this chase.
Absolutely. Well, here he comes across the line, 5 to go, and he's got a commanding lead right now with Falkingham, 2.47 seconds. That's scratch that. Parker is now in the second spot. We missed a pass there. Parker up from 26th starting spot, Joe, to second place.
And now Anthony DeBarro wants third. Daniel Falkingham is in trouble, and he falls back to fourth. David Comstock is right there, too. Might be able to take a couple spots away as he's working over the lap machine. You got Trey Etzen back there in the back, and it is definitely heating up. Race 1 of the chase here for the Transervice Cup Series SIM500. Live from Las Vegas tonight. Appreciate everybody tuning in. It has been an outstanding one. A lot of it's caution free so far, knock on wood, with 4 to go. Justin Fuller has been the man all night long. He's done an outstanding job, and he's leading it by 2.5 right now.
Yeah, I think he's got this wrapped up, barring a caution or a mistake on his part. 2.5 seconds. Parker's he's good, but he's not that good. I'm sorry.
Don't jinx him. Don't jinx him.
I'm not. I'm just saying, even though Parker's making up a tenth a second right now, he just does not have the laps left. As we come to lap 132 or 134, that's 3 to go, Joe. This is pretty much Fuller's race to win or lose.
And Fuller right now is crossing his fingers, crossing his toes, crossing everything he can get crossed right now and still drive that car, because until he takes the white flag, we can still have a green-white checkered. Once he takes the white flag, we are good to go. He knows it's over with. He can put it in cruise control and put it in victory lane tonight, but until that point, and he has one more lap around this track. Josh Parker, though, has done an outstanding job. The battle's still on here, though, for third and fourth. Daniel don't want to give it up.
No, he lost that spot to DeBarro, but he's trying everything he can to get back up there. But I just think he's probably used up his car, used up his tires, trying to chase down Fuller earlier after that last pit stop we saw. So give it to him. He's still got a great top 5 finish here, 4th place. He's going to come into 4th place right here with 1 lap to go. Fuller's got the commanding lead. Parker's in 2nd, DeBarro 3rd, and Falkingham 4th, and Comstock 5th. So I think Falkingham will be okay.
Falkingham out of turn 2 for the final time down the back stretch. Like you said, 2.4 second lead right now into turn 3 to put it in victory lane here at Las Vegas for the first race of the chase for the SIM500. That man, Justin Fuller, is going to win it here tonight. Josh Parker is going to pull it off in the 2nd. 3rd place man, Anthony DeBarro. Daniel Falkingham rounds out in the top 5 in the 4th place, and David Comstock there in 5th. And most notably, Adam Gillian ends up in 8th. Sean Castro ends up in 16th. Just not enough time, but still a good bounce back and a good points night for him there. But what a race. Caution-free from the green to the checkered.
That's an outstanding race. It really was. We have a saying down here. He spanked him. I mean, he just flat out spanked him.
From the start of it to the end here, he did. Justin Fuller did what he needed to do all race long. And that was stay out front, be very consistent. He's going to burn them down here tonight. Well, folks, I tell you what, we're going to bring some of these guys up here. Man, what a race to start the chase off here, John. I tell you, I appreciate everybody tuning in. But, man, that was awesome there. And we go short track racing next week. It's going to be interesting.
Absolutely. I hope I'm here to watch, but unfortunately, I'm on call next week, and it's been busy here at work, so I might not even be here.
Get your cell phone out.
Hey, you know what? If I could drive and watch, I can't drive without watching a damn screen to begin with, Joe. You know, you're asking me to stretch it a little bit there. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's gonna be a great race next weekend. I'm kind of hoping I'm home to at least watch it.
There you go. Well, I tell you what, it was a good race here, man. As always, appreciate you coming up here, man, in the booth, and it's always fun. Trying to look for old Josh Parker right now. See if we can't pull him up here.
He's in the lobby.
Oh, he's in the lobby.
I got him down there for you.
All right. And we're looking for Justin Fuller.
I got him.
Man, what a race. I just can't take it back there. Like I say, caution free to start this chase off here tonight. I mean, these guys, what an outstanding run between them all here. But let's bring this man up. Third place man here, Anthony DeBarro. Let's get a word in with him there, John.
Yes, sir. Anthony DeBarro. John up in the booth. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, how you guys doing tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. That was a great race. What'd you think about that package on the track tonight? You came home in third place there, excuse me. So, I mean, you had something for him or no?
Oh, track position. I mean, I think if I knew it was going to go green like that, if I was a little more aggressive and got out front there like Fuller did, I think it would have been any of us in the top 10 there. I think it would have been the same result. I mean, it's just super tough to pass. Like I was trying to work the ball a little bit. I mean, I don't know, left a little fuel out of it. Tried everything I could. I mean, my goal coming into the playoffs here is 9 top 10s. We got one of them down, and then we're going to go win Homestead. So, I mean, it sounds good on paper. We'll see if we can do it.
I hear you, man. Well, caution free at Vegas is always a great thing. So, is there any kind of a takeaway you got from this race? You got a couple more mile and a half coming up later on in the playoff chase here. Did you learn anything from Vegas in this car and this package tonight?
I don't know. It's every setup and track's different. I mean, we'll see what happens. Where are we going next? I don't even. Richmond.
Richmond, and then you got the Roval.
Yeah, that's two wild cards. So I mean, I got a good top 5 here. We'll see if we can survive the next 2. I mean, it's going to be a toss-up, but definitely the Roval is going to be keep her on track and don't hit the turtle. So.
Yeah. Oh, those turtles were bad for you guys last time we were here. All right, Anthony. Well, congratulations once again on your third place run, man. You got anybody you want to thank for it?
Yeah, Nick and the guys over at Dizzy, Shane, Brandon Kohler, Tim. I mean, we had a good race tonight, a good strategy, and we'll go next week and see what we do.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations once again on your run there. Anthony DeBarro, folks, your third place runner. I think he sounds like he's ready to get to bed there.
Absolutely, and I tell you what, he did an outstanding job here tonight. Like you just mentioned, 2 races here to go in the first part of the chase. They're going to be kind of wild card races, short track and then a road course. But this guy here, man, when you talk to him, I tell you, he's going to have to be ecstatic. Josh Parker coming through the field here, and let's get a word in with him there, John.
Absolutely. I'm caught up down here with Josh Parker. John Muschin. Buddy, 26 Spartan starting spot to second. That's a hell of a good race, buddy.
Yeah, I actually had a lot of fun. I haven't been able to hop on here recently, so that was a good race to come back to, caution free. I wish I kind of didn't suck in qualifying, got a little bit of starting spot, but.
Hey man, 7-time champion Dale Earnhardt was a horrible qualifier. I'm just gonna throw that out there and leave it sit.
Well, I'm glad you can. I was too. I mean, what he passed away when I was 11. I've been drinking for the last like 10 years. I've been drinking a lot last 10 years. I can't remember too much, so I'm glad you kind of reminded me of that.
Well, man, we really, Joe and I were watching you. We really think that if maybe you had maybe 15 more laps, I think you might have had something Fuller. How'd you feel about your car tonight?
Oh, I was coming. Fuller knows it. He's not going to admit it, but he knows it. No, it was really good. I actually, JD Laird was spotting for me and Chad, and I was having him read off the lap times. I can physically see it, not much in turn 1 and 2, but turn 3, I can see it off the turn, all the momentum I was gaining on pretty much that first run. I really noticed it, and then that second run, I kind of started off a little slower, but it came back, and the same thing happened again, which lined me up perfectly for the third run to just go as hard as I could, because I knew, I think after 30 laps, I had an advantage.
Well, I'll tell you, it was fun to watch up here. I've got one question for you. You got any McDonald's fries in that car of yours?
I got nothing. I ate it all. It's all gone. I got a Coke Zero though right here for you.
I hear you, man. Well, look, Josh, that was a great run tonight, man. Really fun to watch. You got anybody you want to thank for your run, man?
Yeah, I gotta thank Joey for not banning me from the league. He kind of did for 1 week. Apparently I was racing too aggressively. So thank him. Big shout out to Mike Stefanik, passed away last night. I know I'm a big New England guy, modified guy. Obviously even Ted Christopher as well, so everyone knows what today is. So I gotta thank Chip Ganassi. Like I said, I haven't been on here a lot because I am a console gamer, so racing for Chip Ganassi over in the Pro League, so I haven't been able to commit to this. So I gotta thank Chip Ganassi, Elijah Burke, and everyone over there. Chad Coleman, obviously being me, my boy, and congrats to Fuller on a good win.
Well, thank you for your time, man. And, hey, if you can get a word in with Chip, let him know that I need a job. But anyway, congratulations.
Well, man, my pitch right there was my job interview, so that's what I was going for.
There you go, buddy. Well, congratulations again on a great run tonight, Josh. We look forward to seeing you next week, bud.
I appreciate you guys.
And I'm going to throw it over to Joe White for that victory lane interview, man. That kid's got some energy in him, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I was just going to mention that right there. You can feel the excitement in his voice, and that is awesome to hear. He knows he came back. He has been away for a while there. And hey, I've also got to mention this because all these PC Master Race sim guys just got owned by a console racer. Let me reiterate that. Yes, let me say it one more time. The man said he races on console and just came over to iRacing, the best motorsport simulator around, on PC. Came for 22nd position. Had him a little more time, probably would pull the win off. So outstanding, and you can feel it.
He's been here before now.
Let's
clarify.
That's fine. That's fine. But gotta give it a win, man.
You like to stir up that pot a lot,
I'm gonna tell you, it is awesome. It is awesome. But right now, I can just feel the energy in his voice, and it was awesome to see the excitement there, and awesome. But this guy, wow, we're gonna bring him up the winner tonight here. Justin Fuller, Joe White, the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, we got a copy.
Man, from the start on, you had a dominating car. Daniel and them was there for the moment. We've watched you. I've watched you in the past couple weeks just drive the tires off of your cars. I noticed you did that in the first run. Did you learn anything after that run? Because it looks like after that you kind of calmed down and you were able to set sail in that machine tonight.
I didn't really do anything different from run to run. First run was just I made a mistake. I hit the apron a little bit in front of Cohan, which usually left down, and I appreciate him racing me clean, by the way. And I kind of ticked the right rear tire off a little bit. I lost a little bit of ground, and I slipped through my box when I pitted, so I lost a lot of ground right there, all within a matter of like 5 or 6 laps. So that probably helped make it look like I lost a lot of ground in the first run. But besides that, we had a great race tonight, that's for sure. No
doubt about it. And how does it feel almost to be run down by a console racer?
I heard that. Josh is not a. Don't take him for a console racer. Yeah, he's in the Pro League over there, but he used to be a NASCAR Peak Gainer Pre Series driver. I think he's maybe a winner, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. He raced in DMP back in the day, so he's no slouch. I knew he was coming. But I didn't think he had the time to get to me. He definitely was a little bit better than me on the long run, and I think overall it just kind of evened out. Had he qualified up front, though, it might have been a different story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got to throw fuel on the fire there because I just love that he mentioned that, and I always hear all the iRacing guys and whatnot. But yeah, he is an outstanding talent. I love the energy. I love watching you on the track. I've watched you in the past, weeks and months here, man. You definitely know how to wheel one of these machines around the track. It's good. How does it feel though to win the first chase race right there? Because this helps in the playoffs.
I mean, it's only my second Cup win of the year. I won at Martinsville. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but this package, man, it's the only reason I'm good, halfway decent with this car is the package. I was terrible in the old Cup car. All this downforce and less horsepower really it's just an equalizer, and it's all about getting out front in that clean air. Don't get me wrong, I'll take it. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh no, I don't want it. But the clean air 100% helped me win that race tonight, and just not making too many mistakes. I made the one mistake sliding through my pit box, and we were just able to keep it up front.
Absolutely. Well, either way you get it. Sometimes I say luck, talent, skill, or the car. No matter how you got it, you won tonight. First race of the Chase Transervice Cup Series here for the SIM500 at Las Vegas. You got anybody you want to shout out for it?
Yeah, I want to thank Transervice for sponsoring the series. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't probably be doing this. I want to thank Joey Katina and all the SIM500 admins. I gave Joey a little lip during the race today. Like I said, it's really hard to pass, and I was trying to lap him, and I gave him a little lip, and I appreciate all the work that he puts into this league. It doesn't go unnoticed, that's for sure. I mean, car counts are great, so you can't ever go wrong with that. I want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast for sure. You guys do a fantastic job every week. I'll rewatch it tomorrow while I'm at work, and definitely want to send a shout out to all the fans that watched tonight. Everybody that was in the race. It was a clean race. We went caution free. That was great. And send a special shout out to my teammates at Aftermath Motorsports, and my sponsor, Sean Yoder with Nemesis Lab, and Tim's Corner Motorsports with Tim Terry. So looking forward to Richmond next week, I guess. We'll see what we can do there. Just, get a good solid race there. I'm not very good at that track. I hate that place, honestly. So we'll just see if we can walk away with a finish and move on to the next round, hopefully.
No doubt about it. You definitely got your foot in the door and got the hammer down, and you put it in victory lane tonight. Again, congratulations there, Justin.
Thank you, John.
All right, I'll tell you what, man, right there. Let's get our unofficial results order here tonight as, Justin Fuller puts it in victory lane. Josh Parker, man, right there up in the second. Anthony Navarro the third. Daniel Falkenham ends up in fourth. David Comstock fifth. Trey Etz in the sixth. Chad Cole seventh. Adam Gillian, he ends up in the eighth. Tommy Ryan ninth. And Timothy Johnson rounds the top 10s. We look to the rest of this field. Well, it's going to be a heated chase, I'm going to tell you, because we still got a lot of chase drivers in that top 10, top 20. Some guys had some pretty good nights. Nick Cohan, not so much tonight, so it's going to be interesting who's going to be able to walk off and go to the second round of this chase in about another couple weeks.
Absolutely. Speaking of the chase points there, they've been updated tonight. Adam Gilliland maintains a five-point lead, Joe, over Daniel Falkenham. Fuller jumps up to third. 16 points behind, and I think Nigel Stanish was actually a did not show tonight, so he drops all the way down to the bottom half of the points, dead last. Cohan lost 5 points. Shane Ewing lost 4. A lot of these guys, didn't have the runs they really needed. Castro, even though he lost his spot, had a great run tonight. He really did. But that points lead stretches out now between first and 16th to 51-point difference. So now Adam's got kind of a good cushion going into Richmond and then later the Roval.
Well, Nigel actually ended up in 34, so that's probably just not tonight.
Oh, so he was here. Okay, I'm sorry.
We mentioned that earlier on. If you have a bad night, it can hurt you into points, and it did for him. Well, but that man right there, Justin Fuller, he did not. He put it in victory lane. We're going to head out of Las Vegas, because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It was a good race here tonight for the SIM500 Transervice Cup Series. We'll see you at Richmond next week, everyone. Have a good night.
Adios.